Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Dro and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to do a follow-up on a video we had a few videos ago. I don't know exactly, I'll put a link either in the description or somewhere around here. And in that video I showed you how you can extract structured data from text using a package called Instructor and LLMs. The disadvantage of that approach that we show there is that it's very static. So you had to define the data model you wanted to extract in code, and then if you needed to change something, so for example, if you needed some additional field, or you wanted to tweak the description, which is then injected into the actual prompt, or if you wanted to use it for a different use case, you would have had to rewrite everything. And I wanted to have something more dynamic. And to that end, what I'm going to show you here today is how you can define the structure you want to have in a JSON. And then this JSON will become a pydantic model that will be used to define or to help instructor define the prompt. And then when the result is coming back from the LLM, instructor will use this very model to parse the result and give you back a validated data that you can then use inside your program. So without any further ado, let's go into the code. I want to show you how it's going to look like. I'm going to give the example of a speeding ticket. Here is a very stupid example I created where you have the ticket number and the different details about the driver and the car and so on and so forth. And you want to extract some information out of this in a structured way. And with my approach, what you do is you go here and you have your model defined as a JSON. It has a name, it has a description which will be used by instructor to be injected into the prompt that will be used by the LLM. And you define a list of fields, each one of them has a name, a flag whether it's mandatory or not, the D type, and again a description. It will be used inside the prompt itself. I split it here to OpenAI, and we will see also Gemini, and it's they're a little different because of that here. So with OpenAI models, as of now, maybe when you see the video, it's it's then different because everything changes so fast. But as of now, if you have here a date type or a date time type here, it won't work. It will complain about something, it's documented, you can find it in the docs. What you have to do if you have to use OpenAI, you need to specify these as strings, and then in a follow-up step, you need to parse it into a proper date or date time object as per your need. So I want to show you how it actually works. We put here the imports we need, and then next we load the JSON that we just saw where the definition of the model lives. And this is actually the main magic. We will see it in a second how it actually works, where we take the JSON and we create out of it dynamically a pydantic model. And this is how it looks like. So you see that we got back the schema of the model. It's essentially what we had in the JSON. It's only that for various reasons, that way is not supported natively in Pydantic. So there's a workaround here if you want. Next, we load the ticket data. And finally, we can inject everything together. This is where I promised to show you how I use GitHub models. I wanted to say GitHub Actions, but models. And this allows you, if you use this base URL, it allows you to use various models. And it's actually really nice because it's for free. I mean, not for production purposes, but for testing and learning purposes, it's great. And let's just run it and wait a second, and we get back a beautifully formatted Pydantic object with all the data we had in the speeding ticket itself here. Before we check out how it works with Google, let's have a look how it actually works under the hood. Under the hood, this is what we have. we have a mapping of the different types that we can define in our JSON to proper Python types. It's used later. We have here, I jump to the end, this model dictionary, and this is where it's again a pedantic model. It has a name, a description, and fields, which is a list of field dictionary. Each field is, if we go back here, is this object, right? And then we have this function that we used also in our notebook here. Where was it? Where was it? Here, get model. This is the function that we have here. It's a method of this class, and this creates, using the create model, it creates dynamically the pedantic object we want. The field dictionary has, at the moment in this implementation, 4 fields: the name, the D type, the description, and the Boolean flag, whether it's mandatory or not. We have a validator here that checks that the data type we get is actually one of the allowed ones, so it appears here, and then we actually populate it with a mapping from the string to the data type itself. And we have this function here which builds an annotated field with all the details we need. Specifically, the description has to be in the field, and whether none is available or not, depending on whether it's a mandatory field or not. We use this get annotation for each field, and we inject it into the create model. That's how we work. Lastly, I want to show you the difference if we have the Google approach, and I start with showing you the JSON, and here we have date for the ticket date and date time for the speeding timestamp, and we will see now in the notebook how it's actually used. So this notebook is very similar to the OpenAI version. We load the imports we need, we load here the JSON and parse it into, or convert it into, a pedantic model. Here you see it. It's actually a pedantic model, right? We can initialize this way, and we create a client. This time we use the offering from Google, Gemini, and we load the ticket, and we can run it, and you get again the same result, only this time, in contrast to the OpenAI, we have here proper date, time, and date directly out of the box, so you don't need a further step. And the last thing I prepared here is a ticket without an officer number. Remember that if we look at the description here, then the officer name is optional, it's not mandatory. So if we run this, we will see that the officer name is none, because we use this speeding ticket and there's no officer name here. So that's what I wanted to show you. I hope you find it useful. I will be very happy to hear from you in the comments. How do you do this? Do you use other frameworks? How do you go about dynamic approach when you need to be more flexible in terms of what you want to extract from your data? Don't forget to click the like button, subscribe to the channel. It helps me a lot. I hope you found this video helpful and nice. I'm Dr. Dro. Thank you for joining me today, and have a great rest of your day.